Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Virche Epic Lycoris, continuing our foray into the little interlude side stories. We are going to do Eve's stories today. Well, some of them. We're going to do the ones that we get the CGs for, and then we're going to do, whatever other random ones that maybe he's in on his own, or like Hugo and stuff like that. So we'll just kind of fill in roughly about an hour with whatever. But I started with our morning after common save because this is one where we get a CG for him. So we ventilate the room. And then there is another choice after this. So cool. I decided to let them handle preparations for some digestible food. I suppose we could have always just started the interlude one again and just skipped till this part where we make a choice. You know what I mean? But whatever. And done. I opened the windows to bring in some fresh air. Suddenly a gentle and comforting wind blew by. Yep, this should make them feel a bit better. Of course, this wasn't enough. Now what should I do? Oh, okay. Here we go. So these are all... Okay. So we're going to be coming here and doing this to check on Cyan, to look for Adolphe. All right. Because I noticed that, but there's also another one I swear that you get a CG for, but maybe it's a compilation CG. Because it was, all of them. So I that's why I was thinking, oh, okay, we only had 3 choices. So maybe you only get, a CG for certain characters here, and then the other characters in the other one. But maybe that one's a compilation? That one we'll probably do toward the end anyway, just because it's all the characters, So, Eve, are you all...
I'm fine, totally fine. This happens all the time when we get together for some drink.
Eve? Just as I was about to ask how he felt, Eve dashed forward, only to trip on a pile that he pushed to the wall. Are you all right? I completed my sentence as I lifted Eve up.
Weird. I usually don't get like this. I guess I just got too drunk from drinking with Adolphe all night.
You're gonna get more sick if you force yourself to move like that. Knowing it was for the best, I laid down a clean bedsheet in an open area. Just lie down over here, Eve. I'll keep watch until you feel better.
Thanks.
Like a cat or dog looking for warmth, Eve made his way toward the sheet.
I don't feel like throwing up. My chest feels like it's churning. And I'm super sleepy.
Why don't I rub your back?
You sure? Well, if you don't mind.
Is that going to be our CG? Oh! Look at his dopey, happy face. I rubbed Eve's back gently to avoid causing more harm than good. How do you feel?
Yeah, a little better. I really went wild and drank more than I could handle. Dad, the food you prepared was so good, and it just made me go for more wine than usual.
You're just flattering me.
Oh,
that's me. Oh, but if that's the case, is this all my fault?
Not at all. It's basically the drinker's responsibility when it comes to alcohol.
See, that's a lovely sentiment. It's not the bar's fault you got drunk. It's not the alcohol's fault you got drunk. It's your fault. Imagine that, taking responsibility for your own motherfucking actions. Shocking. I'm just saying, some people are like, it's somebody else's fault that I got drunk and did something. No, it's your fault you got drunk and then did something stupid. You know what I mean? Unless someone drugged your drinks, then it's their fault for drugging your drinks. But it's different than I had 32 shots of tequila and then I punched that lady. It's her fault for getting in the way of my fist. No, that would be your fault. And it's not the tequila's fault and it's not the bartender's. It's yours. Okay? Just saying. So it's just nice to see someone taking responsibility for themselves.
Everyone knows that.
Well, maybe in this world, but not in reality they don't.
Which is why they only drink as much as they can handle.
Yeah. He's so funny. He lives in a Delulu land. Which means I should learn how much I can drink once I'm able to. I'm not... I really was going to be like, start now, and don't start. responsible for yourself. Start drinking young kids. Oh, dear God. Just kidding. Oh, don't listen to me. I continued to gently rub Eve's back as he turned his head to smile.
Spacey, your back rub's really gentle, so it almost feels like you're praising me. Almost feels like I'm a kid again.
But kids don't drink and get hangovers, Eve. I mean, I'm sure there are some, like, really, really horrible children that do, but...
Well said.
I spent the next hour or so rubbing Eve's back intermittently. After confirming he felt better, I decided to go and check on the others. I'm wondering... Yep, okay, and this is where we go back to normal... Our normal thing, having a talk, getting snacks, and doing this. So exactly what I thought. Okay, so now we have to see. Let's see. Now, okay, eventually we'll do, but like this one is even Adolphe, so we don't want to do that one. That one's Adolphe, so that's a very specific. Dahud and Nadia, I figure we could do the Nadia ones during, like, Lucas's stuff. But anyway, let's see. Sweet Dreams to a Sweet Girl. Let's just find that one. Okay, here we go. This one. Oh, time has passed since the heroine began helping at Karun. After finishing an order, she gathers information about Boro when... ... We get a new CG. Not right away, guys.
So, I'm sorry, but I don't have a clear-cut answer to your question. You just sort of popped up, I guess. That said, even if I did put a lot of thought behind who to ask, the result probably wouldn't have changed. I want you to help me. Simple as that.
Some time had passed since I began helping out at Karun at Eve's request. God, I really hate the white on white. I am not gonna miss this. I'll admit, like, this part right now when we're going through the fun little after stories, this is fun. This is fun. Good thing we saved it till the end. Because if we, first of all, if we had saved the, like, encore stuff till the end, goddamn, I probably would have rage quit. We would never have finished it. Because after, again, doing Anko's route and playing the first game again, and then doing all those again, I would have been so fucking annoyed. Plus, they were depressing. This is a great way to wrap it up. So that it's like, yeah, somewhere deep inside, I'm annoyed that I had to play the whole first fucking game again, but we're having fun right now, so it's okay. It's fine. It's really not, but, you know, I'm delusional enough to pretend it's fine and be like, I forgive you, game. Do I really deep down inside on my deathbed when I'm going to be thinking back on it? Probably not. I'll probably hold a grudge. But in the moment, right now, we're having a great time. So, maybe we'll give him a pass. You know what I'm saying? So, good way to end the game, basically. But I am not going to miss this motherfucking white text on a white fucking background. Like, seriously, slap whoever fucking thought this was a good idea. God, it hurts. It's such nice weather out today. After getting some requests done for today, I headed back to Karun. I was with Eve earlier, but he was called to the Corps for an urgent matter and headed to their base.
Sorry, Spacey, to make you go back alone after you helped so much today. And if you'd like, take it easy at my place before you go back to the orphanage.
He apologized before he left. But I know Eve is busy, so I'm sure he's tired as well. After thinking for a moment, I made a decision. I'll go buy some snacks or something at the marsh before going back. I want to have something ready to enjoy with Eve when he gets back. I headed back to Karun after visiting the marsh. I put away the snacks I bought, and I picked out some tea to prepare later. After playing with Puffy, I ran out of things to do. It was so funny because I was literally like, before this line happened, I was like, Puffy's back there! And then she pointed out Puffy, so perfect. So these are all the requests for the from this year, and these here are from last year. I decided to look over the requests that everyone in Karun had received. As I worked as just another member of Karun, And this is where we keep a record of all the requests we've ever received from clients until now.
This is important because some of our liver clients sometimes ask us to do the same work they asked for before. Which is why I have every bit of information I can record in these books, so I can go back to them when needed. I'd be glad if you could look through them too, if you don't mind my sloppy writing. Even if there aren't any leads to borrow, the information should help you understand the work here at Karun.
With Eve's permission, I used the free time I had to read through these documents in order to find any information on Boro. My goal today is to read through at least one stack of these. Adolphe and his team were working hard in their own investigation. I have to help somehow, too. I sat down in a chair and looked through the documents. Just as I heard from Eve and the others, the documents listed all the details of requests Karun had received. The data and time the requests were received, what they asked for, what sort of person the requester was, as well as their appearance. Along with studying the contents of the request so I could help out with the work here, I was carefully looking over the requesters' names and appearances as well. I haven't found anyone that seems like they might be him, or anyone working with him. I can't go into detail, but there's still a seed of a budding flower that will bring more death to this land. And the little you experienced thus far is merely the prologue. Not one of them has been resolved. Considering Onko's warning, I couldn't let my guard down. This person's figure seems close to Boro's. He's 22 now. Considering the typical progression of the curse, he wouldn't be able to move like Boro did. This person seems to be strong and at an age where he's still very fit. It even seems like he's familiar with martial arts. But his figure's completely different. His arms are like thick logs. The fact that Eve wrote this down, like arm like thick logs, very stickly legs, beer gut, like... It's one thing to, like, write it down like John Smith came. He has blonde hair, blue eyes, like, whatever. But he's literally, like, arms like logs. Looks like Mr. Potato Head. Like, what the... What? I get it's really just for this part of the plot, but, like, what could you possibly, like... I understand keeping a log of, like, the names and, like, who asked and what their request was and what you did to help. Like, whatever, to keep a log of all this stuff in case they can't ever come back, especially, like... I mean, that's what you do when you document problems and issues and stuff. So, like, if someone comes with the same problem, you're like, oh, I know how we did this last time. Or, wait, we had a problem like that. Let me look. Oh, here's how we fixed it. I mean, in this case, it'd be like, I have a leaking roof. Patch hole in roof. Duh. But you know what I mean? If it was, details on what they asked for, whatever. But what would be the point of, like, writing down their appearance? Aside from, this guy's problematic, don't ever deal with him again, he might change his name next time. So I'm going to write down, like, it'd be like having a poster and, like, think, oh, yeah, no, I see your poster right here. You're banned from this establishment, sir. Get out, But, like, it's just so weird. Arms like logs. A few hours passed as I reviewed the documents. As I was focused and looking through their contents...
I'm back, Spacey. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, Eve, welcome back. As I hurried over to him, I saw he held his Corps uniform in his hand and assumed it might have been dirtied a bit. Did you have any problems at the Corps?
No, it was fine. It's not like there was an incident or anything, so don't worry. It's just one of the Corps' horses, we had tied up at the base got away.
Eve continued to explain how he was sent out to capture it. Well, that might not have been an incident in particular, but it must have been a big deal, right?
Yeah, I was running after it like crazy through town. And in the end, it just stopped in someone's field and was happily munching on some carrots.
Oh, my.
I paid the owner of the field and apologized, but Adolphe, who came to retrieve it, was definitely annoyed.
I'm sure you're really hungry now. It's probably, yeah, sounds like Adolphe. You're like, when is he ever not annoyed? 50% of his personality is annoyed. which is why we love him. He's very grumpy. I felt bad, but it certainly seemed like a humorous bit of trouble to me. I'm sure you're tired from your day out. I have some tea and snacks ready, but would you like to have some with me?
Really? Oh, thanks. I'm really parched from running all over town.
Are we going to get a tea time CG, maybe? After washing his hands, Eve happily sat in a chair. I poured out some tea for him and myself in the cups I had prepared, and brought them out to him with the snacks.
Oh, thanks. I'll dig right in then.
Eve smiled happily and took a sip of the tea.
That's great. The tea you make is always so good.
That's not true. It's just that the tea sold at the Marsh is just really nice quality.
You sure? Tastes pretty different when I make it, though.
Well, that's because we can't even Okay, listen. We couldn't even trust you to make floor toast for Cyan, alright? Seriously? I'm not necessarily sure we should trust Eve with going out, picking up a loaf of bread, cutting it, and throwing it on the floor for Cyan. I'm not sure that in the process of cutting it, he's going to be like, oh, I used that to cut some weird fucking thing I fished out of the sea, and now it's got poison on it and Cyan's dead. Good job. I'm just saying. You can't trust Eve anywhere near fucking food at fucking all. So, yeah, it makes sense that your tea would taste weird. Because Lord knows what kind of water you fucking boiled. You're like, I got it from the ocean, it's fine. Dear Lord, sir, what the fuck? There's like chunks of seaweed in it still. This man is more deadly to us with food than Van Helsing ever fucking was. Okay, is all I'm saying. All I am saying is this game was like, oh, you think Van Helsing can't cook? Hold our fucking beer. Here you go. Like, while enjoying the taste of the tea, Eve continued to reach out for some of the snacks and stuff them in his mouth.
This is great, though. Having sweets at the end of a hard day's work really makes them taste so good.
I understand. I make sweets sometimes and have them with Mother, too.
Spacey's homemade sweets, huh? I just know they're great. I sure would love to try them someday.
Eve continued to look right at me. Look at him blushing. I just can't win against Eve when he looks like that. Again, you can't because he's a labradoodle, so... The young and pure look on his face made me concede right away. All right, if it's all right with you, I'll bring some of what I make to you.
All right.
He smiled so happily. Could you imagine? If it's all right with you, I'll bring you some homemade snacks. No, how dare you? I mean, unless you're on a diet and you're like, actually, please don't, because I'm going to eat them all. You're going to bring a basket full of tarts and I'm going to fucking eat the whole damn thing. So maybe don't. But like... He's like, man, I'd love to have your homemade snacks. Well, if it's all right with you, I'll bring you some. I would prefer you didn't, bitch. Like, what was the answer going to be to that, you know?
You're always helping with my chores around here, so I'll get something for you, too.
You don't need to do that. You're always taking such good care of me. And you're letting me look over your documents. I glanced over the documents of request I had stacked to the side.
I see. So you were looking through them, huh? Was there anything that caught your eye?
No, nothing yet. But even if I weren't looking for someone in particular, it really helps reading through them. There sure are a lot of things Karun does. I was certainly surprised at the request to find a small hair ornament that was lost in the forest.
Oh yeah, that takes me back. That forest was pretty big too, so I had trouble finding it. In the end, Hugo slipped on some muddy ground and just happened to come across it.
That's so lucky! I wonder what the odds of that happening were. I don't think Hugo's going to think it's so lucky.
Maybe I'll have Cyan calculate that out next time I see him.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that he'd find that a valuable use of his time. He would slap you. If he survived the floor toast you brought him, is all I'm saying. After cleaning up our snacks, Eve pulled the documents toward himself. Okay, so no tea time CG, I guess.
Speaking of finding lost items, there was this one too. It was a request to find an important tool for someone's job.
Oh, okay. It was no choices. I was like, wait, what? I thought I saw no CG, and I was like, no choices CG. Okay.
I looked everywhere around town, but I couldn't find it. Just as they were about to buy a new one, it appeared behind a shelf.
I feel like that's happened to me, too. Yeah, it's always those damn gnomes. They're not stealing your left sock. They're stealing whatever the hell you're looking for just to mess with you. They gotta keep themselves occupied somehow, otherwise they get bored.
Right? I do it myself sometimes too. The requester apologized to me so many times. Oh, I remember this girl's request. It was a request to help her get her cat that got up too high and couldn't get back down. And I must have been shy because once I reached it, it bit me so hard. And the girl screamed after seeing my hand covered in blood.
I think I'd be worried too. I was amazed. It was a request from such a long time ago, yet I remembered it with so much clarity. I guess there are a lot of requests that can be quite troublesome.
Yeah, but I've never hated taking any of them on, not even once. After completing them, seeing the requester's happy face and hearing him say thank you has to be the best reward I can get.
I can understand that feeling now that I'm working alongside you. I was given so much strength by everyone who expressed their gratitude to me. These documents aren't just records, they're also part of your memories, aren't they, Eve?
And they'll be part of yours soon, too.
That would be nice. The records I looked through were all such peaceful requests. They're proof of how much Eve loves everyone so earnestly. Eve, would you mind telling me more about your memories of these requests?
Of course, there's still so much I want to tell you about. But in return, I sure would be happy if you'd share some of your happy memories with me.
I wanted to take my time and read these. She's like, I don't have any. Right now is a happy memory, but you're experiencing it with me, so that's about it. I mean, seriously. Most of her memories, she's a sad sack, so most of her memories aren't great. Even if we weren't looking for Boro, I want to know about the path that Eve traveled. I mean, to be fair, she does have some happy memories, but she just is overwhelmed by the sad sackness. So maybe, Eve isn't a bad person to be around because, and he's like, tell me happy stuff. And she's like, well, when I make snacks and sit with, and then she's going to remember the little things that make her happy. And then, stop being such a sad sack about the 98% of your life that's a big fat fucking problem. You know what I mean? We've said before, it's fair that she's a sad sack. It's very much fair, but just like Eve said he wanted to learn about me. Oh, just like Eve said he wanted to learn about me. Are we still going with this? There was no CG in here. Oh, now we're in Eve's perspective. Okay. I'm like, there's no CG in here.
After that, the day grew late as I continued to talk to Spacey. Wow, it's already so late. Time sure flies when you're having such a nice conversation. I was about to ask if she wanted to head back when another person came in with a request. About 30 minutes must have passed as I listened to what they needed, and the day grew even darker. I'd be best not to let Spacey go home alone at this rate.
Aw, are we gonna have a nice walking us home CG then? Listen, I'm just waiting for it.
Sorry to make you wait, Spacey. If you need to get back to the orphanage, I'll take you. Before I could finish, I quickly shut my mouth, seeing her sleeping over the table. I wasn't outside for that long. She fell asleep so quickly. She must have been studying the records hard while I was out. I closed the records that were open beside her and put them away. I made a little bit of noise, but she still didn't wake up. She's always working hard alongside the rest of us. I thought about waking her, but decided not to. Instead...
Aww, how adorable, little CG of him putting a blankie on us. Look, it's so cute.
You must be tired, Spacey. Thanks for all your help every day. I took off my coat and draped it over her narrow back. Although she stirred a bit from her skin being brushed against, she didn't seem to wake up. The peaceful look on her face as she slept was so cute. Yeah, she was really cute. I can understand how Adolphe feels now. I can't help but protect such an adorable little sister. But I don't think I see Spacey as a little sister.
I mean, Adolphe does and also doesn't. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because, slightly inappropriate, and we like that. We're here for that kind of shit. Adolphe's not my make him my real brother. Game, you chicken. I'm just kidding. But we know that I wouldn't care.
I think of her as a woman I want to get to know better. Though I was sure I'd just be causing her trouble if I told her that directly. But still,
Eve?
I was startled she said my name. I thought I'd awoken her, but that didn't seem to be the case. A gentle smile spread across her face as she remained asleep.
So I can make more precious memories with you, Eve. I'll work hard and help.
She murmured with such a happy look on her face. She's just so cute. You really are so cute, Spacey. I repeated that thought over and over. She was here with me, sleeping after working diligently, spending a busy and noisy life with me. A girl that can sleep with a face so adorable. There's no way she could be Death, the bringer of misfortune. She's just an ordinary girl. No, she was much more than that. She's a wonderful girl, kinder and more adorable than anyone. I prayed the night she could sleep in peace would continue on forever. I want to protect her.
Aww. Stop it. Okay, so let's go here. Let's see. This one. This is Spinel. We figured that one out. Okay, that's Hugo. Okay, so we'll do late afternoon tea because Hugo comes to the orphanage to share some sweets. The heroine invites him to stay for tea. So, because Hugo's tied to Eve, so we'll do Hugo ones if we find them. I don't think there's any more Eve alone ones, so. And then, like, group ones we'll just start doing when we finish all the characters, like I said. I heard that Adelpha's foster sister Spacey became a maid at the Claude Mansion. This is before he hated us. He only hates us when we try to take Eve away from him. That's literally it. Otherwise, Hugo's like, I mean, is she really dead? I don't know. But, like, he's not like, God, I hate you. I wish you were dead. It's only when Eve's in love with us, then he hates us. And I swear to God, fight me. There is no way you can convince me it's just brotherly love at that point. It's like, no. I mean, they went away and got married. We saw. I mean, no, they didn't. But yes, they did in our headcanon. I wasn't sure how that happened, but after coming to the orphanage for a request, I learned the reason right away. Whoa, this is busted up pretty bad. It must have happened during the storm the other day. Some workers were busy cleaning up the demolished remains of the storeroom. And the ones who asked for work to be done was probably Mathis or Jean. I guess she was working for them as a maid in exchange for rebuilding the storeroom. Speaking of which... Oh, Hugo! Did you need something from Mother? Spacey called out to me, probably just haven't come back from the Claude Mansion. Hey, Spacey, just running an errand. We got a few too many snacks as thanks for some requests Karun's done. Even I can't eat them all alone, so I'm going around giving some out to people we know. If it's alright, please let some of the kids have some. I handed Spacey the basket and she gave a look of surprise at how heavy it was. Oh, thank you very much. I'm sure the children will be happy about this. Sure. Anyway, I'll be heading off. Oh, wait just a moment. She stopped me as I was about to leave and I turned back. I'm not sure if this will serve as thanks, but if you don't mind, won't you stay for some tea before you go? He's like, what, me? Spacey and I didn't interact too much with each other, so I was honestly surprised by the invitation. Yeah, well, we don't hate you. And again, I know you don't hate me. You might not love me like everybody else, and you might just be kind of indifferent to me in general. But I know you don't hate me when I'm not stealing Eve away from you, so fair. And thinking it'd be more awkward to turn her down, I decided to accept her offer. I watched Spacey work swiftly brewing the tea and didn't feel the same fear I felt when I first met her. Here you go. I'm not sure if it'll suit your tastes, but... Oh, thanks. But I did feel as awkward as before. To be honest, I was a little afraid of Spacey back then since people called her the Reaper or Death. But things should be better now. After seeing her and Mathis getting along so well, being afraid of her feels so ridiculous. She's not trying to steal my boyfriend, so it's totally fine. Because, like, in this, if we're working at the Claude Mansion, this is kind of like it would be in Mathis's route, because that's the only time we worked for them. Oh my god, we got a Hugo CG! I didn't know we were going to get a Hugo. I didn't see that on the thing. I wasn't paying attention. Hugo CG. I get, like the Jean one, he doesn't look like Hugo, but this one's pretty. Like, the Jean one was kind of pretty, but he didn't look like Jean, you know what I mean? And this one, he doesn't quite look like Hugo, but it's still pretty. He looks like if Hugo was moved into a different game. There's just something about it. You're like, it's Hugo, but I feel like it's in somebody else's art style. You know what I mean? Like, it's not bad. It's good. It's nice. But it's just so weird because it just like, there's Hugo and then there's Hugo. This one, like, he feels almost slightly more magical. It's bizarre. Oh, what was that bird? Enjoying the aroma of the tea, I brought it to my mouth. She must have steeped it really well as the characteristic aroma of the tea leaves spread through the room. It's even better than the first time I had your tea. I think your skills have improved since then. Really? Not even realizing it herself, Spacey tilted her head uncertainly. Oh, that must be it. Since you started venturing out of the orphanage, you must have a lot more friends over lately. Of course you'd get better at making tea after making some for everyone. Friends? Spacey repeated the words as if savoring it. The word, duh, as if savoring it. Well, she then stared at me. What's up? Something on my face? Oh, no, I was just thinking that drinking tea suits you. You were even teaching Eve how to drink tea when I first met you. Did you learn tea etiquette from somewhere? Good eye. I mentioned this before, but I'm originally from Cheetahs. I grew up in a pretty big family that focused a lot on etiquette, so I managed to learn the bare minimum in drinking tea. I see. Even as she nodded in understanding of my situation, Spacey also seemed used to having tea as well. And did you learn tea etiquette from the sister? Yeah, she taught me the basics. And social etiquette to be sure I wouldn't embarrass myself if I were to ever go to Cheetahs. And I trust Salome to know this shit because she was a queen. If I'm not mistaken, you're 18, right? Yes, I am. Something just felt odd here. You're just 18, but you carry yourself so maturely. Or maybe my younger sisters just act too much like kids. And they're even older than you, so why is there so much of a difference? I didn't know you had sisters, Hugo. Yeah, they're relivers now. My older brother's planning to take over the family business. If they're relivers, they must be far older than me. Yeah, well, that should be the case, at least. Since I had the opportunity, I should try and talk about this with Spacey, who looked close to their age. I took out a photograph from my pocket and showed it to Spacey. It was a picture they forced onto me when I left the family. After looking at it... Spacey had a surprised, wide-eyed expression, as I expected. That made sense. In this photograph, no matter how you looked at it, there were two reliver girls who looked like they were around 15 years old. Did they become relivers at a young age, like Dahood? Nah, they became relivers when they were 20. They look young for their age, right? I wasn't sure about them becoming relivers in that state. Considering how close they were to 23, they couldn't have delayed it much longer. But life would be easier if they were just a little more mature. Is Jules supposed to... See, Jules... could be a girl's name or a boy's name, but I'm assuming if he's talking about his sisters, that it's one of his sisters. Hey, there's our brother! Why haven't you come back home yet? Stop working at Karoon. You can get plenty of money working under our eldest brother. Ugh, you're so noisy. You don't have to corner me like this. And stop criticizing my way of life. I'm working at Karoon because that's what I want to do. Not that it matters to you, I'm guessing. It does matter. You're not supposed to be a part of Karoon. You're part of the Valentin family. Valentin? I'm assuming it's Valentin and not Valentine because there would be an E, but anyway. A noble family who lives in Cheetahs. The head of the family is... Is that Galleon? Galleon? Is there an I? I can't tell. I don't know why my brain can't tell the difference between the L and the I there. Who disinherited Hugo? Was that our father or our older brother? I'm assuming it's our father. I thought the father did that. I thought we read in the first game or at one point he disinherited Hugo for, and I forget why, but. We hate Grim for taking you away from us. Why won't you come home already? Stop crying and act your age. You're only 2 years younger than me. That about sums them up. They're both such rascals that I can't see either of them being married. I can tell they really like you, Hugo. No way, they just like pushing me around. Even after I joined the Corps, they keep calling me a tough guy. Maybe that's just how they express their love for you. Is that really how it works? Regardless of the truth behind that, I just want those sisters of mine to get their act together, like you have. I'm just so worried about them that I'm always showing up at the house I was kicked out of, just to check on them. Really? Feel like I can understand how your sisters feel about you. If Adolphe had cut off ties with Mother before he joined the Corps, I'd be worried about him, and I'd be jealous of the two of you who are his friends. I see. You're becoming more and more of a good little sister to Adolphe. We keep talking about, like, good little sister, little sister, little sister, and then we're going to go to Adolphe and romance him. Which we already have, but it's just funny that, like, that seems to be the common thread today. I took the last sip of my tea and stood up. And thanks for the tea, and for listening to the story about my family. Thank you as well. I'll be sure to give out the treats to the children. Spacey saw me off as I left the orphanage. I decided to take my time enjoying the walk back to Karoon. She was great at making tea, and it was nice at how much she adored Adolphe. And the woman the people call Death just seems like a pretty normal girl. If people want to see something peculiar, they should take a look at my sisters. I couldn't keep stewing in those negative thoughts about her. I should see her for who she was. After all, she was Adolphe's sister. There was no way she could be a bad person. I'm only gonna hate her if she tries to steal Eve from me, basically. Like, I think that's cute. That, see, Hugo doesn't hate us. Again, only time he hates, you know. Yeah, it does say image. Okay. Conversation with my friend. The final moments between friends is a one-sided affair. Is the one who holds in his arms a saint or a poor sacrifice? But it does just says, shows her in this, so who the hell is the other one? I don't know. Nadia and I talking about marriage. That's going to be fun. That's a Nadia one with a C. This one has a CG too. Interesting. There's a lot of like side. Well, there was a lot of them. I'm assuming a mad scientist is probably Capucine. We already read that one. This one is the Drifter. Okay. This is just about us and Salome. That's Onko. Okay, that one's got Adolphe. That's Cyan. That's Mathis, which we already read. This one is Lucas. These... Okay, well, this is a... We probably... See, that one's... Mathis didn't have a separate one. Huh. Okay, we already read that one. Let's see. That's Onko, Adolphe... Everybody. That's the Butler of the Claude family. We already read that. Kind Mother. Okay, so that's Salome, it looks like. Just trying to find ones that maybe... I thought there was another Hugo one. That's Dahut. Okay. Eve. And this is... Okay, so we have a couple of just Eve ones. That's Dahut. That's Jean, which we already read. Capucine, but this is Cyan, so... all right, so we have this one, which is an old story of friends, and this is just Eve. There's no image in this one, but we might as well read this one because it's just an Eve one, so... I think there was another one that was just Eve as well. We'll see if we can get to that one as, like, two, so... we'll see. Oh, this one's got Hugo in it. Okay. Doesn't... Oh, well, I mean, that makes sense. It's story of friends, and it's Hugo. Okay. Okay, so we're Hugo now again. I'm sorry to drag you into such a dangerous mess. You can bail right now if you... Hey, stop right there. I'm not gonna let you two leave me out of this now. But If you guys really feel bad for me, just tell me everything that happened when you leapt back in time to see me again. Or when you leap back in time. Oh. Yeah, I said that, but I just wanted to tag along. I was a reliver, but I still had friendship inside me. My best friend was going to go down the path of saving the girl he loved. If only I were able to be with my partner to help pave the way. So he's like, Adolphe's going to go save the girl he loves, because otherwise he'd be, not happy about it. If only I were able to be with my partner to help pave the way. Yes, my partner, Eve. My best friend Adolphe and my partner, Eve. Run. 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 Continue running. I sent off my immortal friend who went to get the technology to traverse time. It was time now for me to go to my partner, my friend. So this is probably... Okay, so I'm assuming this is like, obviously, in the first time, the original timeline where people only live to be 18, right? When Adolphe is obviously going to go back to get the time travel stuff, whatever, and Eve was dying in the... Because we had seen that in Anko's flashback kind of thing, like he left and Eve had gotten attacked inside the facility, inside of Cernival, whatever. Well, Cernival's the town, in the research institute. So now we're Hugo going to save Eve there. Okay. The institute was bright with lights from the emergency situation. I mean, I felt like that was obvious. I didn't need to explain it to you, but the entrance was littered with the bodies of a good number of guards. I hurried past the bodies and... Thank God there's no CG in this one, though, because it'd be devastating. Open the door to the shrine where that god awaited. Before me was a sight that could only be described as horrific. Everything's on fire. But, technically Adolphe wasn't in this. Because they didn't show his... So I'm assuming if you hear the character, it doesn't count as them being in it, because Adolphe spoke in this, but he wasn't labeled as being in it. And the side characters are never labeled as in it, so... Unless they tell you in the description. I looked around to see burned bodies upon bodies piled on each other. I heard something. I quickly dashed toward the sound to see in front of me the body of the one who was called a god. Hugo. There on the floor was my partner, his body impaled by multiple swords. Eve! Moving was dangerous, so I instead shook his shoulder to keep him awake. And just you wait, let me... After confirming he was conscious, I quickly moved to patch up his wounds, but... I saw a single dagger impaled straight into his heart. I could only assume that the now-dead Cyan Broface landed the blow. Why am I still alive? The blow was so sudden that even he was questioning his situation. But you don't see Eve like his sprite, so it's really weird that they counted this as an Eve one. You know what I mean? I guess because he plays a fairly big part in it, aside from Hugo. I could tell now that I took a better look at him that he wasn't gonna make it. A pool of blood was spreading out from Eve. As the blood slowly spread, the light from Eve's artificial eyes was slowly dimming. Oh, I see. Still, Eve was smiling as if he was having a good dream. I'm sure there's a god. That god's given me some time for me to say goodbye to my good partner. So artificial eyes means in this world, Eve's a reliver. That's probably why they don't show him, too, and they didn't show him really in the flashback with Adolphe when in Onko's flashback, because I don't think they did. Because if he's a reliver, he wouldn't have his mask on. We've seen him without his mask when in one of his endings when he became a reliver or was reborn or whatever the hell it was. We kind of saw that, so we've seen him without his mask on the scars and everything, but you know what I mean? That was part of his route. If it's not really about Eve, they're not going to show him like that, so. Are you stupid? You just killed that god with your own hands. He didn't change one bit, even on the brink of death. I bit deeper down on my lip as the blood spread. I waited for Eve to continue speaking. There was no use for me to cause a commotion now. If I shook him and told him to hang on, I might miss the last word I might miss the last words Eve might have to leave in this world. God, I couldn't read that at all. Might Eve's bees. That was something I needed to avoid for the sake of Adolphe, too.
I'm sorry. To be honest, I wanted to go with Adolphe. I was supposed to go back in time, with you seeing us off.
No need to apologize. Because of you, Adolphe was able to head out to save the girl he loves. Feel bad leaving him alone, but I'm sure he'll do just fine. After all, he's our boss and the leader of the Corps. And our friend.
Yeah, you're right.
Eve had a sleepy face as if he felt reassured by my words. He then held his crushed throat and looked at my face.
But I'm worried about you. With Adolphe gone and me about to die, Hugo, they're gonna be alone.
Oh, look at our labradoodle worried about his little friend. Oh, he is so sweet. A single teardrop. Man, you really are stupid. I can't believe you're worried about someone else until the very end. Tears that I hadn't shed for years fell from my artificial eyes. Oh. There's a part of me that's like, okay, well, now you see the flashback and you see all their sprites, but they didn't count Adolphe. Again, because he's not really, I guess, a huge part of this, but whatever. There's a part of me that's like, I wish there was a CG in this, but I'm kind of glad there's not, because you know it'd be, like, traumatic. Be like freaking Hugo crying and Eve bloody and dead, and you're like, I can imagine it in my head, and it's sad enough. I don't need it visually in front of my face 100%, you know? I can now say it was a lie that relivers didn't inherit emotions upon moving into another body. If that were true, why did I see so many things in my mind now? Why are the memories of us three together gripping my chest? Well, you do have emotions. It's just if you have very intense emotions, they kill you. So, which is how he died when we were in love with Eve. And he is pushing it now. Damn it. Even without you, I could do just fine. I'm able to live alone. So, just take it easy and get yourself to heaven. Go and watch Adolphe from above, you idiot, Eve.
Gotcha. I feel a lot better now.
Eve didn't show any pain. He was satisfied with what I said, breathing a deep sigh of relief.
Hugo, my brother, thank you for being with me all this time. Thank you for coming to see me off one last time.
As if you were snow melting.
I'm glad you were my partner. If we do meet where Adolphe's headed, will you be my partner again?
Of course. You don't even have to ask something like that, you know? He smiled with satisfaction at my answer, then...
Life was good.
Satisfied with the life he had, he quickly fell asleep. I slowly took a step back from Eve. Man, you really were easygoing until the damn end. There was nothing more I could do. This place was going to be marauded by the country's soldiers soon. I was sure they were going to take Eve and everyone else's bodies as traitors. To be honest, I wanted to bring him back to Karun, even if I had to drag him. But Eve died knowing that I was alive and that I'd be fine. So I needed to live. Eve wouldn't find it funny seeing me killed by the soldiers over his body. I quickly dashed through the area without any bodies to get outside the Institute. I looked up to see that there weren't many glittering stars. Well, guess we three can't have drinks anymore. I was gonna have to live my life with that as reality. I'd also lived through the pain of not being with my friends when they died. I still have to live. Live in this cursed country. Live so that I'd never forget the 2 friends I got to know while laughing and drinking like idiots. That might have been one of the saddest death scenes in this entire fucking game. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but I'm like, why was that one going to be the one that was going to make me cry? Everything else, we're dying. Other people, oh, this one is like, why is this one hitting me? Okay. All right, so that was everybody. That's Eve and Adolphe. We probably have enough time to maybe get through one more. Okay, let's see. I thought there was another one that was just Eve. That's Dahut. Okay. And Ulster, that was the one we just read. That's just us and Salome. I mean, okay, well, this is with Adolphe if we need to come back to that one. It's so hard doing it this way. Okay, that's Eve and Adolphe too. Okay, there's this one. Following Crimson Lycoris. I don't remember what ending that was. What went through the young man's mind as he saw 2 lovers meet their end in the Lycoris field. Okay, so this is just an after... Which one was Crimson Lycoris? I don't know, we'll figure it out. But this is just Eve, so we'll do this one. And if this goes a little over, it goes a little over. Okay, so it's Dahut. Okay. Are these endings from the first game? Whatever. I was sure there was no other pair of lovers the red Lycoris suited better. I walked across the Lycoris field, now still and silent. It was as if the fields were protected. It's hard to believe that there had been an uprising at the Institute. These sure are pretty. It was only natural for one's eyes to be caught by the bloomin' red flowers in the middle of the black field. Underneath them was the Maiden of Death and the knight who protected her, both sleeping silently. Is the knight who protected me Adolphe or Onko? I don't really know. Scientifically proven death, Spacey. Cyan used her allelopathy to break the curse of this country, then fought with Eve, who had feelings for her. Their battle ended in a draw because of a system malfunction. Oh, so is this at the end of... Well, it said Eve. Well, okay, so it's maybe after one of Eve's bad endings and it's Dahut recounting the story. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Okay, but Eve factors into it. I was assuming it was us and someone else, and Eve was the one who was going to be narrating most of it or talking about it. When it said, like, oh, the person who watched 2 people die in the field or whatever, I was assuming it was Eve, but okay. So, and this is after probably one of his bad endings. I don't remember which ones came from which route, but okay. Because Eve was in love with us, so it was one of his, and it was one, or the only one, where Cyan plants my body into the ground. It's fun times! I still love that floor toast-eating bastard, but... Their battle ended... Oh, I read that. The malfunction strengthened her death powers to their limit, turning her into a form of death who'd kill anyone in Arpachel who approached her. Afraid of killing her beloved Eve with her abilities, she came to this field, and made a decision.
Be.
She gave me her blood so I could use it to create her clones, and then she came up with the idea of suppressing her powers by having her body absorb more toxins than what was emitted. She chose to have herself buried here, alive. Okay, so this is a slightly different version, because there is one where they force me, but this is where I chose. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm buried alive, basically. As a result, red flowers blossomed amid the black. Eve, distraught over her cruel death. Well, if I'm buried alive, I'm not really dead. But I'm kind of dead, but I'm also not dead. But
I'm sorry, Dahut. But do you mind leaving me with her for a moment?
Understood. So my protector is Eve, so he's gonna just... Okay. It was after I left him that he slit his own throat to chase after her into Hades. Yeah. Well, I'm the one who made the system malfunction. Although I didn't imagine this would be the result. While Cyan's life was spared, his backup was lost in the explosion at the Institute, and he'd run out of options. Using the stolen research data from Orty and Camille Claude's, as well as the data from Spacey, which was retrieved by taking some of her blood right from the spot in front of me, I removed the toxins from the ground using the same plan as his. And now, if I developed a new memory system and a new body that could retain emotion, my preparations will be in place for bringing Mother back to life as a normal person. That said, without her genes, this plan would come to a standstill. Oh well. At the very least, I should be able to save Nadia and Lucas at least. Though I did still have a duty to eliminate the rotten members of this country. In other words, this fight ended in my victory. Cyan lost all his authority. Under the revolution led by Liam Revopois, Arpachel will become a normal country. Poor Cyan. But I didn't feel any joy. Gazing at the red flowers blossoming in the field, I muttered words of loss to myself. The one who killed you both was none other than myself. But it is true that I thought of you as my wonderful, dear, pure-hearted friends. I prayed that these lovers would be reborn into a normal land where they could live together. Well, that's sweet of you. Well, that one was short. Okay, well, anyway, I don't think there was any other just... Oh, we already read that one. Okay. That's just... I don't think there was any other Just Eve ones. No, I think we... Okay, so we did all the Just Eve ones. So, there's ones with him and other characters, but like I said, we'll do those kind of at the end. So, yeah, cool. Look at that. Perfect timing. We'll go into other, because we got, we saw the Jean one and everything last time, but we can see... There we go, there's our Hugo one. Aww. Look at you. What you doing? What you looking at? It's just the little nail spot. It's always there. You look at it like it every time. You're like, what is that? It's just the nail. It's always been there. It's never changed. You're just getting very fidgety. You gotta wait a couple minutes. Okay? And then we get you potty break. You gotta wait. Alright, there you go. You got to look at Hugo for a while. Okay. So let's go see our last two Eve CGs. Like, he really is like a happy little drunk cat. It's kind of cute and he's blushy. Is adorable. So we're gonna have to decide now. This one's like adorable, obviously. What are you looking at? Stop it. Don't look up there. You gotta look at the pretty boys on TV. You don't care? You should care. You should care. You only like it when I watch birdie videos. If I watch birdie videos or anything or look at other people's birds, you get very jealous. You're like, the fuck you looking at? You got me. Look at me. I know. Oh, and then there's this one where he's covering her up. This one's adorable too. It's kind of hard. Like, okay, with the Mathis ones, it was kind of easy because that one was slightly terrifying. And then he did have crazy eyes in the second one. But, like, these ones are both, like, really good. Like, you know what I mean? Like this one's adorable, but, like, it'll probably be this one. Because, like, you can see more of his face. It's a little more zoomed out and stuff, so. But anyway, these are fun. I like doing these. I'm glad we waited to the end to do these. I think it makes more sense, too, not just for the, oh, we get the sad stuff out of the way, and then we wrap up with happy little side stories, but I feel like it would be more disjointed to go in and be like, oh, let's do, like, the happy little bits and pieces, where it's, like, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, this is 15 minutes, whatever. They're, like, 10 to 15 minutes max. Like, you know? And, like... The ones, like, when we did Mathis, when we did the day after everybody got drunk one, it took 15 minutes because we didn't get to skip through. But, like, so, like, most of those, that's the most that they take. So they're very short little things. And it would feel weird to me now thinking back to be like, oh, let's do those first. And then let's jump into... okay, let's read the stories, and then we go through playing the whole entire first fucking game again, and then we play the first game again, and then do all this sob story, and do the bad stuff. The depressing endings. You know what I mean? Like, this is a much better way to wrap it up. You know? Like, Because it's like, because that's what you would do if you were playing a normal game where they have like, oh, little side stories or whatever. You play the main game, you get your good endings, your bad endings, whatever, and then you're like, okay, let's tie up the loose ends with all the little bits and pieces. So, plus, it's a way happier way to end it, and I don't want to punch anyone anymore at the moment. Until we read the Capucine stuff, then maybe I want to punch them. I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure one of those is Capucine. But anyway, we will do, I think Lucas is next. I'm not really sure. I don't have my guide up. Yes, Lucas is next. So we'll do his and then some of the Nadia ones and stuff like that and whatnot. And we'll just see which ones we get through. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.